borrowing.
Question number 3, Chris Auchinvole.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister of Finance, what measures has the government taken to ensure New Zealand's financial system is better placed to minimise fallout from current global market volatility?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the government has moved rapidly through a process of re-regulating our financial system. This includes overhauling capital market regulations, establishing the Financial Markets Authority, and other regulation designed to give investors confidence in market rules and enforcement. We've also brought the non-bank deposit takers, that is the finance companies, under Reserve Bank supervision with minimum capital requirements and credit rating requirements.
Chris Auchinvole.
Supplementary to the Minister. What additional steps has the Reserve Bank taken to strengthen our financial institutions?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr. Speaker, in anticipation of further financial volatility, the Reserve Bank has worked closely with financial institutions and introduced several new measures. For instance, it has introduced a new core funding requirement for banks, which require them to have 70% of their funding from stable sources such as domestic retail deposits and long-term wholesale funding. This reduces their dependence on volatile short-term money markets. And the Reserve Bank has ensured that if there were another financial crisis, the bank can supply temporary liquidity to sound banks, as it did in 2008.
Chris
Speaker,
Auchinvole.
Supplementary question to the Minister. What policies will the government adopt in future to ensure the New Zealand economy and financial system remain sound?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the government will continue with its policy of rebalancing this economy away from a reliance on excessive debt and excessive government spending towards building our growth on investment, exports and savings. This will allow interest rates to remain lower for longer, which will be a benefit to homeowners and businesses across New Zealand.
Chris Auchinvole.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister, what spending restraint decisions has the government taken since 2008 to reduce New Zealand's vulnerability to global uncertainty?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the government has been preparing for more difficult times, and those seem to be arising. And so over the last 2 or 3 years, we've made considered and consistent decisions, including reprioritising $4 billion of spending in our first 2 budgets, $5.2 billion of spending in 2011, with a strong focus on maintaining frontline services at the same time as reducing deficits. We're requiring the public sector to find almost $1 billion in savings over the next 3 years to add to reduce our deficit and get to surplus more quickly.
Question number 4, Grant Robertson.